maybe he'll let me play with some of the albino alligators and stuff.
Steal one. That's my advice. Just steal it and run. I'll give you $1,000.
$1,000. Huh.
Yeah, man.
I would like to have a few more dollars than that for an albino American alligator.
I got some McDonald's coupons, too. At least after a while. I mean, I don't know, they're cool, and I think they're also like tough to keep for the average person in the average household situation. So I think I'm okay with that. I don't know.
Well,
I'm just being
say that you guys are probably a little bit different.
Philosophical too.
You guys definitely, I see vision cages there in the back of Andrew. I think
Yep.
You guys probably have the know-how to properly care for something.
Oh, I do, without a doubt. I just don't want to. I mean, like I said, I think I got it out of my system as a zookeeper. I cared for everything from Cuban crocodiles at the world-famous Bronx Zoo to American alligators at the less world-famous Turtleback Zoo in New Jersey. I've worked with them for several years, and I think I've just gotten it out of my system. I don't know. They're cool. I have an appreciation for crocodilians. I just think that they are not everybody's cup of tea, per se.
I would definitely agree with that. I've seen, living in Florida and dealing with a bunch of swamp people, I've definitely seen some people who should.
Yeah, man, there's a long commitment. Alligators are not only do they have amazing physical requirements, but they're long-lived animals, and you can't take on an alligator without making 100% commitment to the appreciation of the fact that that animal is going to live to, at least 40 years, 50 years, if it's well cared for. So, that being your goal, to obviously care for the animal in the best possible capacity, you have to keep in mind that this is going to be an animal that, could potentially, if kept properly, reach, 10 feet pretty easily. And that's a lot of animal for somebody. So I think I'm a little more rooted in the realities of the situation, having worked with the animals. And as Andy will attest, I can be a downer on many of these situations. Like right now, don't get down.
Yeah. He's killing me on this. But that's why I said I would give up my entire collection, not just, one wall. I would give up my entire collection because I know what that commitment's going to be like.
This interview is not sponsored by Coca-Cola, though you see me drinking it, just so you know, people. Don't buy Coke because you see the Beastmaster drinking it, just letting you know. Just saying, man. I get things out of the way, Go ahead. Sorry. But yeah, Danny Downer. That's me.
Yeah, that's his nickname, Danny Downer.
I'm going to work on that, man. Come
But
on.
he's good. He's good though. He's good. He kind of brings it back to reality because every once in a while I have my little flights of fancy. But
Listen,
he definitely.
I think a lot of us do.
Yeah.
I have nothing against wanting to keep whatever reptile you want, but the fact of the matter is that you have to be realistic about it. You have to be responsible first and foremost. So if you're going to keep an animal like an alligator, you have to be responsible. Otherwise, you're just crapping on everybody else who is and who works hard for their animals.
Yeah, this is why we have some really ridiculous laws that we have in place right now.
It's true, we do, because people screw up, and
absolutely.
That's why there's people like you guys. Like us over at Lost Aquatics, we're trying to get out there and educate people. Don't do this, but you can do this. Give them a starting place, educate them.
Absolutely.
Is
These
key.
things can definitely come through education. So, there in New Jersey, in your local community, what does your fishing reptile scene look like?
Horrible.
Yeah, not good. Not good at all.
Horrible as in, like, you've got poacher shops everywhere, or people are just uneducated, or there's no...
It's a highly restrictive state, and it's also a very populated state. So a lot happens, and not always good. You're always constantly battling the people who are setting poor examples and making restrictive legislation more commonplace. So we are the example of a state gone bad because of people being irresponsible and screwing up. We can't have crocodilians or alligators here in New Jersey, but people have them. Illegally, of course, because they can acquire them in Pennsylvania, where they're perfectly legal to acquire, and then just bring them right over the border, which happens. And almost every month you hear of our local Fish and Wildlife busting somebody for having an alligator even if it's, just being ratted on or having the animal escape into the streets. We had a Nile crocodile roaming the streets of South Jersey earlier this summer. And it's people's stupidity, unfortunately, that leads to this. So, New Jersey is a bad scene because of that. New Jersey is also a very disconnected scene as far as the hobbyist goes and the government agencies that are responsible for laying down the laws. In New Jersey, the common corn snake is illegal. It's because in New Jersey we have a small relic population of wild corn snakes, and in efforts to protect that, corn snakes, the most commonly bred, kept, and revered species in all of herpetoculture, is illegal in our state. And you need a permit for everything except for iguanas or boa constrictors, because that makes perfect sense. So, great state. I love New Jersey. Don't get me wrong, but it's not a herp-friendly state at all.
So, do you find a lot of keepers in your state? Are there a lot of expos?
No, we have no expos. Zero. Big gold goose egg. No expos.
We have 0 expos.
Yeah.
I was the past president of the New Jersey Herpetological Society, which is defunct because of the fact that herpers don't want to be public about their collections and their hobby. And few people step forward into the public eye to say that they keep reptiles. So we've watched that sink ship in the state, which is why Andy and I are so proactive in the reptile scene. We've experienced this all firsthand.
Yep.
So speaking about you guys being active, are you pretty active in your local community?
Intensely. Andy and I are both professional educators. We do everything we can through our show. I think our show, Urban Jungles Radio, has brought more recognition to herpetocultural and conservation needs than either Discovery, Animal Planet, or any of those other stations put together. We've brought to light situations that the public had no idea about. We've also changed the outcomes of those situations. We are very active in the herp community, and we do our part as often as we can to bring knowledge and also bring fun to the herp community, because it's severely lacking in fun. We bring it like that. J.
Everything he just said.
Well, that's a simple answer. So, do you guys go around to, schools? I don't know, birthday parties?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
No, ladies first.
Okay, we'll bring it on an increased level in the future. We've got big things planned for Urban Jungles as a whole, and that includes more outreach and more educational programs when we can. But we've done it. Andy and I have done it. Andy has worked as a professional educator at a museum that I worked at. That's how we first met and became brothers. And essentially, we have been teaching people for at least, Andy, you 10 years, me 15.
Easily. Yeah.
We've worked the jobs. I've based my whole career around it. We do it in our radio show. We reach tens of thousands of people around the world on a weekly basis, letting everybody know what's going on in everybody else's backyard, because a lot of times people are concerned with what's happening, or not concerned with what's happening in their backyard. And we try to let everybody know, whether you live in Australia, Africa, the U.S., wherever you are, you're going to hear about everybody's problems and hopefully learn to appreciate it a little better and kick in, because we really are at a point in a lot of ways that we need to have people being more proactive about whether it's fighting for laws in your local state or city, or doing conservation, saving rattlesnakes at your local rattlesnake roundup. Whatever it is, you got to get with it, and we're here to light that fire.
Nice to hear that there's some guerrilla journalism out there that's definitely sending out a really good message.
We consider ourselves super journalists. We do journalism in a respectful and hard-hitting way, but then we also like to go above and beyond it in a non-professional way, like cursing and doing things that will probably get us arrested at some point, or I should say me arrested at some point.
Yeah, and I'll be holding the camera the entire time, so.
And so we're martyrs for the craft, man. We love this. We love this world. We love the zoological world. We love animals. We know that the world needs a fight, and we're willing to do whatever it takes. So we go beyond journalism in that sense. Journalists are happy to sit behind their computers and their desks. Me and Andy, we're out in the front lines, and just this year alone, Urban Jungles has been involved in some of the most fantastic and mythical adventures you could even imagine, from rattlesnake roundups all the way to recent reptile shows and things that we've done. We've been in the middle and the thick of it all the time, because we love this crap, and we are it. And you see, when I get excited, I start to curse, but I held myself back.
You did well.